Poppers. Flea water.
Foreskin.
The Bible. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, but all of that changed when the white gaze attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, can save us. But when the world needed them most, they vanished. My brother and I discovered the new Avatar, a concept named intersectionality. We all have a lot to learn, but we believe intersectionality can save the world.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to...
Hello, everyone.
Is that how you do it?
Podcast of Color, the show where four trash bags of color come together to try to make sense of the world.
And this week we actually have four. There's all four of us today.
All four. Wow, I'm proud of
Two
you.
squared. Four. Cuatro. Young. Four. Beyonce's fourth album.
I wish I knew how to say four in French.
Her best.
I mean,
Wait, this is our last intro. Who is everybody?
I'm just the hee-haw hunters. I feel like that's my thing at this point. Though yee-haw culture has been done to death at LA Pride, so I don't know. I might have to move on.
Yeah, it's like kind of a thing now. It's been a thing for a minute, but now it's just like a thing.
Well, now all the white gays are doing it.
That's
so.
true. Ew, why? Anyways, sorry.
who are y'all?
But yeah, I love. Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Solange. But anyways, go ahead.
Will you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh, it's me. I'm me. My name is Renee, and what is my like trademark? If I had a trademark from
24-hour
You have a
fitness.
couple. I mean, yes,
You're just
trade.
My
trades.
24-hour fitness.
Stop.
Anti-capitalist.
Communism.
Anti-capitalism, destroying
Joanna
the
Newsom.
patriarchy.
Thank you. Oh my God! Wait, did we talk about how we saw
Wait,
Joanna?
please tell the
Apple.
Joanna Newsom story. Wait, please, really quick, sidebar. Can you tell the Joanna Newsom story?
Yeah. So we saw her coming out. I don't want to say where because her fans are crazy.
Privacy and stuff.
But we saw her coming out of a restaurant, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, that's Joanna Newsom." And then Jay pulled over
and said it so casually, and we were all just like driving by.
and she was with Andy Samberg, her husband, and her child.
What?
Who's fine as fuck IRL.
She's with Andy Samberg? Oh,
Yeah.
he's fine.
And
He is fine.
Wait, what? I'm shook at
I
the
think
both
he is
of you.
so fun. I love. You know what it is? There's something about a white man with a big nose. I don't know what it
I'm
is.
about it. Yeah. I am.
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead. Continue, Renee.
But yeah, so Jay pulls over, and I was like, this is a little creepy. Maybe I saw her, and I'm happy. We should keep going. And then Jay was like, no, I'm just looking for parking. And then they literally were passing by. We're gonna pass by our car, but we were like in the way. And they all looked at us, and then I just yelled out, "I love you, Joanna," outside the window, and then she like laughed.
And she saw us.
Yeah, she saw. She was
She
looking
saw
at us. She was
us
like,
pull
"What's going
back."
on?" I think I bet you they all thought that we were there to like look at Andy. And she was like
I
shocked
think
that
so.
like she was shocked that she was like, "Oh wait, people are actually recognizing me," because like I'm sure nobody recognized her.
Was she like weirded out, or was she like...
No,
She thought it was funny because
They all-
she
they
saw
all
us
laughed.
reverse.
Okay.
They all saw us reverse.
Yeah.
Reverse.
Because we stopped and then we reversed.
She like giggled and
they-
she's like, "Oh,
yeah.
thank you." Like she was like really sweet about it.
She laughed.
Yeah.
She thought it was funny.
Yeah.
She like looked over to the next. She was like, "Is this a drive-by? Like, why are they?" She's like, "There's there's black people in that car. I don't." Anyway.
She was like, "What are these?"
Well, there was
faggots of
only one
color?"
black person. It was me. I was the only one. in there.
That's all it needed. That's all it needed, though. Like she didn't see anyone else.
True. No, I'm from what I understand, Renee stands a woke queen, and I think that's what Joanna Newsom is, right?
Yeah. I mean, for a
hope
white,
so.
for a white artist, yeah, she's a woke queen. I would say so.
I'm dead. I love that you were just like, you know what? You're never gonna be glamour, so we're just gonna have a whole nother set of rules for you. So like, it's cool. No, it's fine. You don't have to.
She tries. She uses buzzwords.
She uses buzzwords.
Not buzzwords.
Everyone on Tumblr, on Twitter is using toxic right now.
No.
By Britney Spears.
Cause you know that I'm toxic, intoxicated.
Like ironically or no?
Like, no, like, so ever since that Gillette commercial, toxic masculinity is like the buzzword or buzz phrase.
And straight men everywhere are shook.
Yes, all the gays are using it right now.
I'm about it. Wait, so what's everyone else's
Who are
trademark?
y'all?
I'll go next because Renee kept saying Jay. So for those of you who don't know, I'm John, am also Jay. So that was my name a while ago, and then I stopped using it because people made fun of me, by saying Jay is gay and made like a lot of gay jokes about me, but I am bringing it back because I am proud to be who I am now. So Jay is my name again. So.
That's tea, actually. That's amazing.
Here
Yay.
for it.
What do we call that?
She's coming out. Dun, dun.
Gross.
She wants the world to know. Gotta let them know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our show or something. I don't know. Whatever that song is. However that song goes.
Oh, I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I'm Rakeem, and I am bald from Attack on Titan and Big Little Lies because wow, what the writing. Game of Thrones should be embarrassed. That's all I have to say. Oh no, I'm Rakeem and I'm on the Iron Throne. How about that, bitch?
Ooh.
Rakeem, what's your trademark?
My overworking myself, not really taking enough breaks, a lot of lime wafers, photography, or did you mean like the show?
No, I mean
Oh, no.
that too, but I feel like that also applies. I feel like that also applies.
I would say, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I could have said, "Oh, I'm Rakeem and I'm the hole in Armand Rizzo's bottom," but I didn't. So, you know,
Just got to the very end,
last
huh?
episode.
To the
Just
very
gotta had to
end.
say.
you know, we support because it's honestly giving him promo. I like support sex
true.
workers. Sex workers.
It's
That's
true.
all it
That's
is.
right.
Okay. Nice
Wait,
spin.
can I?
Yeah.
I know this is a little early in the show, but can I give a quick shout out to Fear Not the Moment because they put a little sound bites of our
Yeah.
intros, and it was so sweet and like like a change of tone of the music. And I completely forgot the sound bite they used for me was like, "I'm John and my father walked out on me," and I was like, "Oh my god!
Oh my god! Ooh, the
such a
trauma.
long time ago." But anyway, oh wait, do we have a
Oh.
question of color?
Well, yes, we're honey roasting each other.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
One last
You're like, oh.
One last time. Podcast of colors going home. One last time. That's Hamilton for the bitches who don't
Oh,
know.
I was like,
Oh,
wait a
thank
minute.
you.
I was
Thank
like,
you.
where did this
The
melody
uncultured.
come from? I was like, that's beautiful.
You heard of the unsullied. Now pay attention to the uncultured.
Wow.
But yeah, what's our? Shall I begin? I will begin actually because I've decided to begin.
All right.
I'm John McCain's daughter, and I will go first.
Oh. Okay. Woo. Are we gonna get emotional today? Are we gonna cry?
Why not?
Why not? It's our last episode.
Who cares?
Go for it.
Okay. I'll start with Rakem, the other nigger on the show.
Oh my god.
Honey Rose, you
Ooh, I'm sorry. That took me out. I was.
are the first black gay friend that like a friend. Like I've known black gay people before, but you're like the first black gay friend that I ever made in my entire life.
Oh wow.
And
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
It was
I'm kidding.
ooh,
I said
and oh,
no. I'm kidding.
and it was. I was surprised by how validating that was going to be for me.
Mm.
And like I think, throughout the years, like you've constantly reminded me that the experiences that I've had were not just like me and my, like, not crazy, because so many people are just like, oh girl, you're just crazy, or oh, you're just thinking too deeply about it, or maybe it's just this, and you're just like, no, it's because we're black. Like, that's what it is. And so like that's been like extremely validating for me over the years, and I think it's given me the tools to better deal with situations because I'm not lying to myself about what they are. But you've also inspired me to work harder. You've inspired me to actively pursue the things that I want and not just dream about them, but make them happen. And you were the one who was like, let's just fucking sit down and do this in the diner. And we like all came up with this concept and decided like the segments and remember when we thought it was going to be 30 minutes? Remember we thought we were going to do a 30-minute show?
Oh man.
Woo. The delusion.
Oh my
but yeah,
God.
so like, I don't know, like I feel like throughout the years you really just have helped me to be a more proactive person in the things that I wanted to do in my life. Miss J Alexandria. You are the mother I never had.
Oh my God.
You are the sister that anyone would want.
Oh.
No, but seriously, you are such a support system, and I like don't know where I would be in life right now if I didn't have you. Like you've like helped me out so much that, and in ways that you wouldn't even think. Like I honestly would not. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. But I don't know that I would have a roof over my head right now if it wasn't for like you just keeping your eyes peeled for like places that were affordable for me. And you know, just like this has probably been like the toughest year of my life, and like you have like just like been like such a rock for me, and you know, being out in LA, like you just were like you're just such a mother. Which is funny that you don't want kids, but you're just like, because you're such a fucking mother. But I don't know, like I just you've inspired me to be kinder and to be a little bit more patient, and to be a little bit more understanding. Yeah. So
Thank
I
you.
love you, and
I love you.
So Miss Renata, hello. Miss Renata Elway, Renata Lou. What can I say about Miss Renata other than you've inspired me to get out of my comfort zone and to pursue
Some dick.
Yes, pursue.
Wait.
I mean, yes, actually, you've inspired me to like be a hoe. Like, you know, like honestly, the thing you've been saying to me this like whole past year has just been like sis, like it's time, you're single now, girl, like it's time, we're gonna turn you out. And you know, and honestly, like you have inspired a lot of some of the recent activities I've been getting up to. But yeah, no, I just like you, but in general, I mean, like you just going back up to the Bay Area, knowing that LA was not the place for you, despite the fact that you did not have like this whole like you didn't have a whole stable setup waiting for you up in the Bay Area, but you just still pursued it anyway, and you're still making it, and you're still thriving. It's hard. You stress the fuck out, and you have very little time. You're always busy, but you are still doing it, and you have, you know, it's funny because I was low key upset with you because you were not as open with me as about all the stuff that you've been going through, but you know. But obviously that's your story, and I can't get mad at you for that. But you have been opening up a lot more, and I've really appreciated that, and it's given me insight into you, because I think sometimes I guess I'm doing this on the show, but I think there were sometimes when I was like upset with you, and I didn't understand what you were dealing with, and so I was really appreciative of you like really opening up and talking to me, and what's that? Communicating the theme of the year, bitch. The theme of the mother. The theme of this fucking year. You know, and letting me into your world and letting me see where you're at. And yeah, I just like really admire that. And you've taught me a lot about like just getting out of my comfort zone, about opening myself up to love. Because I remember a few months ago I was like, "Bitch, I'm never gonna do."
Mhm.
Men are over. That's canceled.
Mhm.
That's done. And you know, it's something that you've talked me through a lot this year, and I really appreciate that. And I just love you guys. I just love all of you guys. I appreciate all of the things that you guys have contributed to my life over these past 3 years that we've been friends, but the 2 years that we've been doing the podcast.
I'll go next. Oh, thank you, Baze. And I'll go next too. So Baze,
Okay.
and John, I won't keep this too long. Baze.
What?
Like how you said you were, I was your first black gay friend. You were the first kind of black gay person I felt like I really connected with here as well. And well, we're not here anymore, but like when you were in LA, as well.
I got you.
And like, that, means and meant a lot. And like, actually all three of you guys kind of like set the foundation, like for kind of like my belief system and all of that, especially Renee, and I'll get to that. But, yeah. And like, you've taught me so much. And I think the thing I've been thinking about recently is like, you've taught me like to enjoy my life and like to have fun and like, and realize that like life is not just like working yourself to death, and that like, it's okay to like enjoy things and like, and be, like happy and with your friends and like with people who like love you. And like, it's simple and stupid as that is, like, some people like need reminders of that, and you've always been that. And you've always like, I don't know, just always been just a constant source of like joy, and it's always been just so fun to be around you and like photograph you and all of that. And like, so, okay, I'm not gonna get emotional either. Okay.
Tamara,
wow. Okay. Renee, like I said before, like you have like set the foundation for like literally who I am as a person, and that's like not an understatement. And I like, you were, I think, the second or third gay friend like I had like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like we met at the LACMA art talk, and like I remember like you went to the like that lemonade truck, and I didn't understand, like I thought it had something to do with like the Beyonce album, and and you were wearing like a cowboy hat, and I will never forget, like we were sitting in like this gallery, and it was like a James Terrell thing, and like we were just talking, and then Renee just yells like, "Rakeem's a submissive top," and then like everyone's like, what? Like, and you've taught me, like how Baze has taught me to have fun. Like you've taught me to stand up for myself and stand up for the things that like I believe in, and like it's okay to have your opinions and not like follow what everyone else was supposed to, like thinks you're supposed to do. And like I wouldn't have become like that or like learned to stand up for myself or be the person that I am if I haven't met you. And John, like man, I have a similar thing to Basin that I actually don't know where I would be without you either. And I always tell people you're my second mom, and I love you so much. I really do. And I think that you are such a light to people, and like everyone that I have met that has said something about you has always been like, I have literally never heard someone ever say a negative thing about you ever. And like, I think that like that says something about your character and who you are as a person. And I don't need to like go over a list because you know, and I love you. So yeah.
Oh, I love you.
Woo! Okay, no more smoking and being emotional.
All right, who's next? Jean? Jay?
Talkspace.com/podcast the color. Woo! Chile.
Who's going next?
I'll go.
Renee?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with Rakeem. And just say that, wow, I really do feel like meeting you has shifted my life. And I met you at I think you remember this, it was at a very low point. And I think it just, it created a lot of opportunities for me to meet you. And also, like, you've just been such a great friend. an inspiration. And like, I think when I think about like trying to persevere when I'm having like a really hard time, there are like several people that I think of like, okay, what would people do? And I think about like my father and like a couple of people, but I definitely think about like, okay, right now, what would Rakeem do given like your work ethic? And I really appreciate that. And yeah, you're very inspirational. So thank you. Basie, the Heandris. Basie, it feels like you know, I'm just a tad bit older than you, just a tad. But it feels like just a stitch. Sorry. But it feels like I'm growing up with you a little bit. It feels like a lot of the challenges we're facing, especially like things regarding like self-doubt and being kind of a little scared and like not seeing possibilities for ourselves, but starting to fulfill those and starting to manifest those. And growing in that way has been a lot more possible because I'm doing it along with you. So I really appreciate how like you're always just so like joyous and you're just so fun to be around always, and I appreciate your spirit. So thank you.
Thank you, sis.
And Jay, Jay also, wow, like I feel like Jay has really seen me in like, I mean all of y'all, but like Jay specifically has seen me be like really kind of closed off and like kind of like bitter. And maybe like with reason, but like just like emotionally, but I think you're somebody who like helped me definitely try to like figure out opening up to people and opening up to romantic possibilities, and I don't know that I would be where I was at now with that if it weren't for you. And yeah, and also and just helping me survive in general. So thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Oh my god, you guys, it's too early to cry on a Monday. I have to go to work. Okay, I guess it's my turn. God, that really is validating hearing everything you have all told me, because first, I love you all so much. I think a lot of listeners have even written in that like we have been an inspiration for them about what chosen family looks like, and I cannot agree more, because like Bae said, I'm never gonna have kids, but that doesn't mean anything to me because you guys are already my family. And so like I don't know where I'd be without y'all either. I don't know if I could wake up and not have any of you in my life again. I'm so proud of each of you. I think in general you're all so resilient, and it's so inspiring because I've seen each of you grow so much. And I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to do this individually now because I don't have the strength right now. I'm going to cry. But I've been with each of you through your all individual obstacles in your life. And it's been an honor for me to witness the growth and witness you all pick yourself up and allow me to be a part of that. I can't emphasize again how proud I am of all of you. A lot of people would have given up in all of our situations, but you're all so resourceful, and you're all so determined and dedicated and loving, and it's an inspiration for me to keep going too. And it helps me be a stronger person knowing that you're all getting stronger too. Okay, and that's it for me. I love you all so much. What an intro.
Wow. Okay,
That was
so
beautiful.
we're gonna gather ourselves, and we will see y'all in the minutes of color.
What up, and welcome to the last minutes of color.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So real quick, I just wanted to read this tweet that I saw yesterday, and I posted it on my story. It says, "Gay culture is someone introducing themselves to you despite having met you 6 times."
Yes.
Real.
And I was
Yes.
like,
Real.
I felt that in my spirit.
You know,
In my
wait,
spirit,
you
but
know what's so funny about that?
What?
Is that I get that a lot, and I used to get angry, and then I realized, like, the more people I meet, that I'll be like, "Hi, nice to meet you," and they'll be like, "I've met you already."
Yeah.
Like 5 times, and then I'm just like, "Oh," and
Oh, so
and I
you're
feel
the
bad.
one.
No, but okay, and
It was you.
listen,
Like Rihanna, you see that one when she sees the fan, she's like, "Oh yes, I know you."
yeah.
Oh yes.
She's like, I gave you this bracelet. And
Oh,
she's
and
like,
the
yeah,
thing.
I still have
You gave
it.
me the thing. Yes, I have that.
No, well, look. To be fair, this is in an area where like one of my friends is very popular, and she'll introduce me to like 10 different people in like 5 minutes, and then like I'll go to a similar party like the next week, or like not even like a month later, and people will be like, "Oh my god, I just met," and then I'm just like, I met like 50 people because my friend's introducing me to like X, Y, and Z. But
I feel like,
yeah,
sorry. Well, I think there's times, I think that's definitely valid, and it's something like I have done too. I literally did this yesterday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? I was at my friend's house, and I met this person. And I was like, "Oh," they were like, "Oh, yeah, I met you," and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names." I think it's also in how the person responds to it too.
yeah.
Because there's people that they're like, "I met you," and they're like, "No, I don't know. I don't remember." And it's like, "Yes, you do, bitch. You know exactly."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do that. That's why I don't do that anymore. I just play along. I'd be like, they're like, "Nice to meet you." I'm like, "Nice to meet you." Oh my god, I'm Baze. What's your name?
Like,
That
nice
is
to meet
so
you.
funny.
Like, we fucked. What do you mean?
Because you know what it is.
Wow, for real.
Remember?
Wait, has that happened to you?
No. I was just giving an example. That has never happened.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was gonna be like, damn.
No.
It's that cold?
No, that's
No.
happened to me.
You know what
Someone introduced me to someone, and like we both knew who we were. We both knew that we had like hooked up, like literally fucked. And this was like, "Oh, this is my friend so and so," and the friend was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." Because I wanted to assess to see how they were going to go first. So they went first and like, "Nice to meet you. I'm blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh fuck no!" So I had to play along too, but like in the back of my mind, I was like, "Dude, you were literally whatever." I was gonna say you were literally
Inside of me.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh,
LA
I
gays, I swear.
I think.
I can't
I
say.
think the-
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I will say though, I did. Okay, I will give you guys like a little interesting, funny story that happened to me like on Friday or Saturday. Like, I was going to this gallery reception thing, and so on the way there, I got to where I was going a little bit early. So the block I was on, there's like a lot of galleries. So I was like walking past this other one, and I saw these pieces in the window. So I go and look, and I was like, "Oh, these are really cool." So I like go and I look, and I'm like taking some pictures and like looking at the work, whatever, and like I see the name, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll look up who this artist is, whatever, and like I'm like looking at them by myself, and like as I turn around, like I look up, and the guy that like is looking at me is someone that I like hooked up with. Like, actually, let me not say that part. I hooked up with him at a specific location that I shouldn't have, and his work was the work I was looking at, and I was like. Oh, and he was like, "Oh, like nice to see you," and like we were like talking about it, whatever, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then like the gallery owner like walks by and he's like, "Oh, do you guys know each other?" And I was like, and in that moment I was the Kill Bill like, "Oh wait, ooh, what was that?" Anyway, so the Kill Bill sirens kind of went off, and then he was just like, "Oh yeah, like he's like a friend of mine," and I was like, "Oh, thank God," but I was just like, "Thank you for not saying that." But I did have that happen, so that was. Yeah, that was that.
Jesus.
Yeah, anyway. But I've never had anyone ignore me.
You know what I just do now is I just, pretty much everyone I meet now, I just say, "Nice to see you again." just so that I'm like safe.
And then what if they're like, where have we met?
No, but then they feel bad and they're like, oh, yeah, nice to meet you too.
Oh,
Renee's over here playing chess.
Come on, manipulation.
Yes.
Right? We play checkers. This bitch playing chess, honey. She sold 2008. We sold 2008.
Game of Thrones should have hired you for these tactics,
right,
girl.
babe?
Like,
Come on, Sansa Elway.
Also another thing is I'm always really nervous. And okay, no one believes me and that's fine. But I'm like really nervous in like social situations, especially meeting new people. Like somebody will introduce somebody and my head the whole time is like, oh my god, a new person. Oh my god, you have to meet them and you have to be nice and like all these things are going off in my head and I'm like, hi, what's your name? And they'll be like, hi, my name is, and then my mind is like, oh my god, new person, remember the name. And then I'll be like, oh, hi, my name's Renee, nice to meet you. And then it like, because of like all this like cacophony in my head, like I forget what their name is. And then like,
come
I'm
on,
sorry.
cacophony.
I was gonna say I didn't go to college. What did you say?
Wait.
It's like a lot of like
Berkeley.
noise, like just basically like all this mental noise that's happening,
Wow.
as they make their saying it. Like
Cacophony?
remembers
Oh my
SpongeBob,
God, John.
the part where like SpongeBob, where like they would say a bad word and a dolphin noise would happen.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what's happening when somebody says their name to me. But yeah, I'm like really bad at all that shit.
So if they
But
go
no,
like,
but I
hi,
hear
my
and
name
I
is
understand
blank,
why people
it
get
gets
mad
blanked
too
out.
because what's that?
If they go like, hi, my name is, to you it sounds like, hi, my name is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Well, all I know is I didn't think that deeply about it. I just think that most of the time it's a power play because a lot of the times it is, and I think you can tell when it is because I think the gays love to peacock.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means they love to like show off. They love to be the one with the power, like
And be like, you're not that important.
Everything's a power play.
I don't
Everything's a
remember
power
you.
play.
Yeah,
Oh, you want to be friends? It's a power play. I'm not going to talk to you first. You have to look at me first. I'm going to come and then I'm going to stand right in front of you, but I'm going to have my back to you so that you know that I don't care about you. Like everything is like a power play.
Ooh,
Literally at work yesterday, this guy came into my store and like walked, like was staring at me the whole time. Went out of his way before he exited the building to walk by me and ignore me. I was like that's just what the gays do. Everything's a power play and everything's about like showing people that you don't care about them. And I'm not saying that maybe I'm bitter, but I'm not saying that it's just that. And I'm sure there are a lot of situations where people genuinely don't remember because I frequently don't remember that I met people. It's like a thing, but it's all in like how the person reacts to it. And I think you see a lot of times when people like genuinely are just like trying to like have a moment.
Yeah, I mean I feel like if people are having a power play with you within seconds of meeting you already, I think that is probably a good indication that they're probably going to be shitty friends and
definitely.
shitty people
And
in general.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, and I play along. And I'm like, oh my god, nice to meet you. What's your name? And then I move on. I don't care. Anyway,
I was going to say, I
Well,
kind
no.
of get this mentality because I think as queer people, for survival, we have had to be like strategic with like being catty or being like defensive with the rest of the world. But it just really saddens me when we do it to each other.
Yeah.
I've never gotten that. Like, why?
It's that's because you don't be out in the clubs, girl.
Like,
This
but-
is what you. This is the stuff that you avoid.
It's not even just the clubs. Like even at like I don't know, like
A brunch.
art shows or whatever. When people see each other, they're like, "Oh, I
don't get that at art shows.
I don't do that though. Like, I don't have that issue. So that's why I'm just curious about like why, because I just feel like you don't pay my bills. So why do I give a fuck?
See, I only see it in like those brunch moments or like the little parties or like the little kickbacks or like the club. I never really see this in like the day-to-day like out. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, what is going on in the world?
What is going on in the world? Well, too many motherfucking people are traveling, according to The Atlantic.
I was like, wait.
Yes.
I was like, is
Too
this a
many
rant?
motherfuckers, too many of you pores are taking your muggy, grubby hands and rubbing them all over the monuments around the world. And the world is mad about it. And there's been some suggestions that they should make flights more expensive so that it becomes more inaccessible for people to travel around said world.
Wait,
Said world.
they're
yes.
mad because the monuments are dirty? And
No, well, here's the issue. and this is something that I experienced a little bit when I was in Croatia last summer, is there's a lot of people, travel is more affordable than it's ever been, and it's more accessible than it's ever been. You know, it used to be that only rich people got to go to Paris or London, and now like anybody can do it. You know what I mean? Not anybody. Obviously, everyone doesn't have the money to do it, but like it's just a lot more accessible than it used to be. And what's happening is that because it's so accessible, a lot of people are running over things. So like last summer, I was in Croatia, and the cities that I was in were just overwhelming because they're not that big. But then you have like 1 million people in the city, and it's a city made for like, I don't know, 500,000 or, you know, even less, 25,000. You know what I'm saying? And so like you're going somewhere like I went to the Plitvice Lakes, and it's these beautiful clear lakes. That's like it's like a bunch of waterfalls, and it's like in this rural area. And the line, like you could not just breeze through here. You had to run. There were just so many people that it was just lines constantly moving. You couldn't stop to take a picture or to like enjoy anything. I mean, I still did because, you know, that's just who I am. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am. But, you know, I had to rush. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just take a moment to like really take in the sights. I was like, oh, that's pretty. Let me take a picture. Or, oh, let me just take a second to look at this beautiful thing and then just move on. Cause I couldn't, everyone had to be in and out. And so, in this article, by Annie Lowry, called Too Many People Want to Travel, in the Atlantic, the Louvre closed in late May, because the people that worked at the Louvre were just tired. If you don't know, the Louvre is the very famous museum in Paris.
Stand my money face and go.
So many people visited it in May that the people that worked there felt overwhelmed and suffocated by it. And that's kind of like a hard thing to do because the Louvre is big. I think the Louvre is bigger than the Met, and the Met is huge.
The Louvre.
So, you know, it's a lot of valid things. I mean, the cost of living is going up in a lot of these cities because a lot of Airbnb is like not really good for cities because a lot of homes aren't being lived in. It's driving the cost of rent,
right? The
price of rent up, you know. So it's like negatively affecting locals in these big cities. So I get that. However, there's something kind of like ugly to me about like, oh, well, now that it's accessible for everyone, we need to make it inaccessible again.
Yeah.
There's something about that just rubs me wrong. And maybe I need to sit with that for a little bit longer and figure out why. But I'm just like, I don't know why you couldn't just have like limitations on things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Okay, only so many people can do this in a day. Like they do that with the what's the thing here in New York? The woman with the fire.
The Statue of Liberty?
There we go. Alright. Girl. I don't. And do I give a fuck? And do I give a fuck? Because what does she represent? Where's the Liberty at?
Oh,
okay
true.
then.
Wow.
That's true. Anyway, as I was saying,
no, you painted something really pretty for me. Like in my head, I was like the woman with her fire in her hands. I was like, wow, that's magic. I've never been there.
No, but I mean, you know, and that they have limitations. Like you have to, it gets booked up in advance. Not Rikers. What's the prison? What's the abandoned prison in San Francisco?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, you have to like book it in advance. You can't just show up to Alcatraz like, hey girls, what's up? You have to like book it. So it's just like if you wanted to, like, I mean, if they wanted to, like, they could just put limitations on things and like, you know, do it that way. I just feel weird about them making something inaccessible. Like also like
it's
people
classes.
Also don't. Yeah, people also don't just travel.
If your first instinct is like, oh, like there's too many people, like let's make it accessible to the people that, you know, that are the least or the most marginalized and have the least access to this many funds. Like, no, that's not the answer. Let's just have it so only wealthy people can visit. Like, the fuck?
You know how
that's
people
really
say,
fucking weird.
You know how people say, like, oh, a lot of people, like, don't actually want equality, they want privilege? That's what this looks like when it's in action. Because it's literally, like, like Renee is absolutely on the money, which is like, if there is something and a lot of people like it or want to see it, and your first thought is, instead of creating more resources to make it more available, or maybe hire more staff, or hire more people to clean it, or maybe open up the hours and hire more people and create more jobs and help the economy to help manage it, your first thought is to limit the access, you're an asshole.
Yeah, facts. That being said, they're talking about some really valid shit. There's been like an extreme environmental crisis.
That's tea, actually.
Beaches,
so maybe cut it off.
Yeah, beaches in Thailand and Mexico and the Philippines have been destroyed. Natural wonders from the Sierra Nevadas to the Andes jeopardized. Religious sites from Cambodia to India to Rome have been damaged. So the word is over tourism. And it is an issue. There's a problem here. I don't know what the answer is, and I think maybe that's something that somebody who's well above my pay grade would have to answer. But it does feel a little, I don't know. It just feels odd to me to make it only accessible to rich people. But go ahead, Renee.
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I was just kind of like, sorry, I'm mad. But like,
no,
it's also like a lot of these things, a lot of the fucked up shit happening in other countries are the result of like very entitled and like just fucking clueless wealthy white folks like going into places where they shouldn't be going, acting in ways where that they shouldn't be acting, like really disrespecting local folks. Like that's a lot of that is, do they speak about that in the article at all? Because like if they don't, like that's very telling, because like legit white people will go to like wherever and be super disrespectful to the local people, treat them like shit, also like try to like stiff people, like try to like bargain with them when it's just like you can afford to pay the locals what they deserve for whatever work they have. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like if the article is not talking about that as well, and how like a lot of white folks are going to these places completely ignorant of how you should be acting with the locals and like how you should be dealing and like how you have privilege, and if you can buy X, Y, and Z, that you shouldn't try to like, say like, oh, let me give it to me for this. Fucking buy shit from locals, sustain their fucking livelihood. Like
that's what happened in Firefest.
Right, exactly. Like if you don't,
sorry,
go ahead.
And to be fair, I just want to make it clear that this article isn't saying I read this article, but there's also read multiple other articles on this subject, and it's not this particular article that's saying that we need to boost up ticket sales. It's just that's been a common theme amongst the articles that I have been seeing. This one is kind of a lot more. This one is actually a lot more balanced, and it talks about like the cross cultural exchange, and it talks a little bit about like it's a little bit more balanced than that. But I just mean that's just been an argument in general that I've been seeing across a lot of these other articles I've been reading.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I get it, and I get the arguments. I definitely understand like a lot of these things, but like it's also like you need to look at who's going to these places and who's really fucking a lot of shit up. I almost want to say like airlines should like maybe provide some shit like online, like this is how you should treat the people here, or like this is like a custom here, or like,
oh my god,
do you know what I'm saying?
Never
like,
do that.
Whoa. But the airlines are not going to do that. They're just going to say, oh, let's raise the prices so that the right people come
and make the seats smaller.
Right.
Bitch.
Like whatever. Anyway.
Bitch. Anyway, yes. Let's see. So just do some more shitty stuff. Yeah, let's couch it. We're going to do some more shitty stuff and then we'll get to the good stuff.
Couch it.
So Junior's Bar, it's a bar in Dallas, Texas, is under fire for kicking out Blair Jurasic, who's a trans woman. Apparently what happened was so the Daniel Heredia is the guy who posted the video online. He was with his friend Blair and a bunch of other friends. They were at this bar. They gave their IDs to the bartender. The bartender looked at Blair's ID a little longer than the others. Blair has her birth name, her dead name on her ID still because she hasn't been able to change her gender on it yet or her name on it. So the bartender refused to serve them. Wow. the whole group. And then they went over. Another one of their friends, I guess, maybe came later and then went to the bar to get a drink and was turned away because he was with her. Because he was a part of that group. And then eventually security came over and kicked them all out of the bar. The security asked for all their IDs, studied hers longest, and then kicked them all out of the bar. And they called the police, but the police basically said that the bar has a right to refuse service to anyone for any reason. Without reason, excuse me. But obviously, the reason was very, very clear. This happened in June, so it's Pride Month. Excuse me, it's a gay bar. Very reminiscent of the scene in Pose.
Yes.
Where Blanca is kicked out of the gay bar. It's just wild. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? I mean, I don't know. Like, what does that do? Like, what does that hurt anybody in there to serve her a drink? And I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Yeah. People are trash, honestly. Is basically the answer to that is people are trash.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
And that's funny that, it's not funny at all, but like, it is very reminiscent of the Pose episode. And it's very much like, I was actually just, cause I'm rewatching so I can catch up for the
season 2.
Yeah. And I was rewatching and it's just like super fucked up. Like, if you understand where this shit came from and like where like, people die. No, I'm joking.
People died at Stonewall. No one died at Stonewall. No one died at
No,
Stonewall.
but if you really understand where like a lot of the struggle and the people who end up doing a lot of the movement are the most more marginalized, and the most marginalized were like the trans women of color, and so for like stupid shit like this to happen during Pride Month is just kind of like, what the fuck? It's like really fucking stupid.
And like, speaking of which, leads me into the next story. A trans woman of color, Laylene. She's from the House of sorry, I'm like bringing it back up.
House of Extravaganza, I think.
So Laylene Polanco, she's 27 years old. She was found dead in her cell at Rikers. I forgot. It doesn't say her thing in this news story. It's from. She's from a house, but
she's from the Extravaganza.
Is it Extravaganza?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, from the House of Extravaganza.
Damn.
Her family's not been notified about how she died. There's still no information on anything. It's wild, that somebody is just found in their cell dead, and there's just no explanation for how it happened.
Yeah.
And it's very reminiscent of Sandra Bland, who, granted, there was a little bit more video evidence with that, but it's just like, when you think about yes, it is Extravaganza. Sorry, I'm now seeing it here. It's just when you think about like things like this incident in the bar, when you do things like that, when you make these little transphobic jokes about people looking like men or people looking like women, when you trivialize trans people, you give people permission to do things like this. You give people permission to harm trans people because they're just a joke. They're not human beings. They don't matter. It's all fun and games. And these are lives, and these are people who have families. These are people who whether that family's blood or found family, there are people that love them. There are people that are going to miss them when they're not here. There are people that are going to be affected when they're taken out away from them, when they're taken out of this world. So it's just, I don't know what else I really don't know what else needs to be said about it, but I think we have to start really realizing even the small shit that we think doesn't matter, that's not that big of a deal. Oh, I don't think pronouns are that big of a deal. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? Like, that shit matters. Because even that small shit gives people permission to do shit like this. And this is what is she? Is she the 8th trans woman to be?
She's a 10.
I think
the 10.
I think it's 9 or 10.
Wow.
Because 2 weeks ago it was 8.
I was just about to say, I was listening to the read 2 weeks ago and they said 8. So within 2 weeks, oh my God.
Jesus. I'm tired. Like, and it's just to even have like trans friends. A lot, you know, a lot of people maybe don't, but like to even have like trans friends and to see the effect that this has on them every day, to constantly be reminded that at any moment somebody could just decide that it's time for them to die.
It's fucking terrible. Like the average age of a trans black woman is 35. That's horrific. It's inexcusable. There should be no reason for this.
Yeah, like their life expectancy is like not over 35 either.
Right.
Ugh.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, world? Why is this happening? Like, this is not some sort of chronic health issue or whatever. And he's, you know, like, I understand that working in healthcare that a lot of things will cause death. But this is due to violence, like senseless fucking violence. And it just breaks my heart.
Yeah. It's like I'm still not even over Malaysia, because just to see her survive this attack and say, I'm so thankful to be alive, and then for her the next week to be killed.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it's super suspect. I mean, fuck the cops, but at this point, it seems like in this case, like they seem to be directly involved. Everything seems super like suspect. And it's like, it's a reminder that like we can't really trust these people. Yeah, we really cannot. They don't give a fuck about us. And or about trans folks in general. And people in general, right? But like specifically black trans folks, they really don't give a fuck about. And I have y'all, I don't know, I mean it's kind of heavy, but have y'all seen or heard about when they see us?
I don't know if I can. Ugh.
I will. I have to wait.
I mean, it's nothing surprising. I feel like it's kind of more geared towards people that aren't too aware of how, the law enforcement works, and like how they like bend the rules, and how they're actually really fucked up. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a lot of it is not like really news to folks that have had to deal with that. Yeah. But it's still pretty heavy.
I heard it's negatively impacting that prosecutor, so I'm happy to hear about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Yeah. She got dropped by her publisher because she went on to become a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, she was profiting off of her cases, which is shouldn't that be illegal?
Yeah,
like she was writing about her cases.
It's fucked up. Wow. So the fact that she's like that they're holding her accountable for that shit is amazing for sure.
Yeah, she's already rich as fuck, but
but yeah, it's they don't give a fuck about us, or they don't give a fuck about people in general. So like really.
So in some brighter news, Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye came out as non-binary.
Oh yes.
So I thought that was really cute. Yeah, they said the older I get, the more I think that I'm non-binary. I'm gender non-conforming. Like some days I feel like a man, but then other days I feel like a woman. I think my energies are really all over the place. Any opportunity I have to break down stereotypes of the binary, I'm down for it. I'm here for it. I think that a lot of times gender is used to separate and divide. It's this social construct that I don't really feel like it fit in the way I used to. I always used to think, oh, I'm like a gay man, but I think any way I can let little boys and little girls know that they can express themselves and they can be. I just am either like gender bendy or non-conforming or non-binary, and some days I feel like a boy and some days I feel like a girl. I don't think I was allowed to be non-conforming or genderqueer or non-binary. I was just always like a gay man because that's just the label I thought I had to be.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I thought that was really, really good for young kids to see that.
For sure. And where did he say this on, or was this on his like Instagram or something, or on an interview? I mean, it's just great to hear that, because Jonathan has like a huge reach, and not just with queer people, but like a lot of straight people like him, a lot of cis straight people like him. So like, I'm glad that he's using his.
It looks like it was an interview with Out.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Just like yeah.
Well, I hope a lot of cis straight people see this. So at least, because it's like, it's nice to see that a lot of non-binary representation happening right now. because there's still a lot of people who don't understand what that means, and even within our own community. So it's great to see that.
Yeah. Did you guys? So, the Hollywood Reporter does a actor roundtable frequently. I think like yearly. I don't know. I feel like I see them every few months, honestly. But they had one, and Billy Porter was on. And he was there with Stephen James, Diego Luna, Sam Rockwell, Hugh Grant, and Richard Madden.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Choo-choo.
he went in.
Oh.
And the discomfort at the table was very it was felt through the camera. He said, it's a double layer. The layer of actually being a person of color in this industry, and then the other layer of being a queen. Nobody can see you as anything else. If flamboyantly ... wasn't in the description of the character, no one would see me, ever, for anything. Which wouldn't be so enraging if it went the other direction, but it doesn't. Because straight men playing gay, everyone wants to give them an award. Thank you for gracing us with your straight presence. So that gets tiresome.
Ooh.
So here I sit, I can't get the gay parts, I can't get the straight parts, I can't get nothing. The last pilot season I went through, it was that over and over and over and over again. It was a couple years ago, and my sister calls me on the phone, and she catches me right after one of those, like, dismissive, you're too flamboyant calls. And I just went in. I was just crying. I had to pull the car over to the side of the road. I was like, I can't. Like, your body doesn't know that it's not real. The emotions, it's like, I can't keep putting myself in this position where I'm always begging. The next day, Ring, Ryan Murphy wants to see you for a show called Pose. It's set in the LGBTQ Paris is burning ball culture, and I literally was like, okay, Lord, or the universe, or whatever. It was literally like, you got to be kidding me. And so he's saying this at this table, and I believe Richard Madden played Elton John in the biopic Rocket Man.
Yeah.
So I believe he's straight, from what I understand.
Wow.
It was very. You could see the discomfort on all the guys' faces at the round table, and it was really interesting to see that, to have them like really be faced with that. Because for years, like, cis straight men have been playing trans women and gay men, and trans women and gay men have been locked out of getting, roles to even play themselves, let alone anyone else.
Right.
And it's been like this tiresome argument back and forth, because it's like, well, people shouldn't have to be gay to play a gay person. What does that look like? What does that mean? And it's like, sure, everyone should get to play whatever they want to play, because at the end of the day, it's acting. But some people are locked out of that. So that's the issue here at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and straight men are seen as kind of like this, like, I would say, like, empty canvas that, like, oh, you can kind of encapsulate like any type of spirit, and you can portray anything, because you're just a blank canvas, and you're true at your craft, and you're a clean slate, and so you're capable of anything. But everybody else is pigeonholed
exactly
in whatever kind of community they belong in. And so, like, it really creates this, like, fucked up thing of, like, okay, like, it's okay for you guys, for this group to play whoever, but you have to stick only to your role.
Yeah, I mean, our cis Ian Stewart, Phil Stewart, from Topics Included, talked about this. She said that, like, one of the things with being an actress is that she's not a blank slate, and that when she was studying acting in college, is that they were telling her, like, you got to be a blank slate, and she's like, I can't be. I'm a Black trans woman, and so it's like, who gets to be those blank canvases? Who's the default? Who's a white sheet of paper, basically? And white men are the only ones who get to really be that.
All right.
Anyway, speaking of Pose, have y'all seen the trailer?
Yes.
For the new season, it looks like excited. Paris is burning. Like, it looks like Paris is burning. Like, they're all being interviewed. It's really cute. I'm excited for this gay couple. I'm more excited to see. I really hope that they do a little bit more with Angelica Ross this season, and stop making her the angry dark skin on the show. But yeah, I'm excited.
I'm hearing rumors that there's gonna be, like, romance between Angel and Lil Fafi.
Ooh.
What?
And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Hopefully we're rid of Stan, but I feel like Stan might be around.
He's gonna be
somehow.
around.
Right?
Ryan Murphy loves him, just a useless white man.
Yeah.
He does.
And especially
Damn.
that actor. Yeah. No,
yes,
that's
he
real.
loves that actor, and I like that actor too. Actually,
No,
but I just don't
yeah,
think he's
for sure.
necessary to the show. To be honest with you, I think we could really just not have any white people. I would be okay with that.
There always has to be one. Like, I noticed that, like, there was one in Black Panther, and then there was one in Lemonade, and it's always one, just so people can be like, now shut up, like, you have it.
Yeah, because
It's just because white people lose their minds, or they think it's like, white people like cannot handle not having like even just a little bit of representation. I was thinking about this the other day because I was like telling my coworker, I was like suggesting that he listen to Megan Thee Stallion, and he's like the straight black guy, and I was like, oh yeah, you should listen to Megan Thee Stallion. He was like, what is she like? He's like, that's not for me. I was like, so all this straight shit we've been listening to my whole life, that's for me.
Right.
Dang,
I was like, you can't listen to Megan Thee
Right.
Stallion, nigga.
Right.
Honestly,
But
I don't want you to listen to her if you're gonna act like that. Stay away. Oh my God. Also, thank you for cleaning the beach, Queen. We appreciate it.
Yes. Oh my god.
Hey,
I'm
Queen.
so mad that I didn't get to go to that.
Girl, you have done it again. Raising the bar for us constantly and doing it flawlessly. I would say I'm surprised, but I know who you are, and I've seen it up close. I love you, girl. Yes.
You know what's so funny is that I feel like, and hopefully this doesn't come off. This is gonna come off the wrong way, and that's okay. But I feel like a lot of people that I wouldn't normally see caring about certain issues showed up to the beach cleanup, and I was like, okay, like if you got the IG baddies there, then like.
I mean, a lot of the girls were there for a photo.
No one was
opportunity.
literally-
Let's
And
just be
that's,
real.
like-
None of these girls care about the environment. Let's be real.
But if she's getting people out there, you know what?
Yes,
that's
what
you know,
matters.
They
Good
did
for her.
clean the
Getting them out
beach.
there.
They did, in fact, do a beach cleanup. I was so mad. I
They
was
did.
debating just ditching work and going, but whatever. But yeah, it was good. They actually did clean the beach. I had friends that went, and they said people did clean up a lot. They said that the people who did not clean the beach were pretty much got to get pictures with Megan, and the people that did clean the beach didn't. So
Oh, that sucks.
but apparently, like, because they were too busy not cleaning the beach, trying to get pictures, is what they meant. Like, not,
Yeah, that's
not,
so
yeah. Not that she was like rewarding people who weren't cleaning the beach. It was more like,
No.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's ugly.
Damn.
Well,
We stand a legend, though. We stand an
Yes.
environmental legend.
and I'm excited for Pose. Can't wait for it. What is like the thing you most want to see? For me, it's just like I want Angelica Ross. I forgot her character's name, but I want her to be like that bitch. I want her to stop being the butt of the joke, and I want her to stop being like angry, dark skinned chick.
you know, I actually
I'm
don't
here-
have expectations. I kind of stopped doing that because it ruined show. Like, I can't, like, Game of Thrones ruined me having expectations for shows. So
That's wrong.
I'm just gonna just accept what we get and like appreciate it and love it. You know, I know it's gonna be good, but I'm happy with whatever they'll give us. Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm excited. I'm honestly excited for all of them because I was like trying to think about a particular character, and I feel like I really love Angel, but I really love all of them. Like I feel like every single character in the show, like I stan.
Yes, agreed.
And apart from the characters, just because they work so well together, and a big part of the show for me that is so special is the idea of queers trying to find their chosen family and trying to find a connection where like maybe like their blood family was not able to provide. And so since they do all that together, like it's just hard to kind of like nitpick at like or pick at like one person. But yeah, that's basically, I'm just looking for more beautiful chosen family moments that I'm sure are going to make me cry. I feel like I cried almost every episode last season.
I'm really excited to see the relationship between Blanca and Electra, because these two like powerhouse house mothers rule in like different ways, but then like, well, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but like you get to see how Electra and Blanca their relationship changes towards the end of season 1. So I want to see how that's going to like roll out in season 2. And I don't know, it's nice to see how different people choose to run their houses, and like two different strong women and who they are in other people's lives. I don't know. I feel like I relate to Blanca a lot, and I just want her. I want her to do.
You're so Blanca.
You
I
are
want-
so Blanca.
I want to see her do something well, and like I want to see her. I want to see a happy ending for her. Everything
That was shade.
No,
I want to see her do something well. Finally.
No, I want to see her do well. Like I want to see her story. I hope she has a happy ending. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot
agree.
of tragedy
She's-
on the show.
Yeah, and she's very selfless. I guess there's not a lot where outside of just the house, which I think is a big rewarding thing for herself.
Right,
Which is great. And
just
she
wants to
created
see
her own
kids happy.
Yeah, and she's created her own successful house. So like there's that, but like yeah, like every time like the kind of like romantic interests or like things like that like have not been working out for her. So hopefully next season she will have that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A couple of y'all had some things you wanted to bring up real quick.
Oh, you can go first, Jay.
No, you go first. Mine's really silly.
Okay, well, I was just gonna just really quick do a shout out for Curly,
Mhm.
and just in general, the show Vida, if y'all haven't seen it, is on Stars, and it's basically this. I think it's like one of the only, if not the only, Latinx show that's airing right now, where it's like mainly Latinx cast, and it's set in Boyle Heights, and it's basically about these two women whose mother passes away, and they move back, and we find out that the mother's roommate is actually her partner, and that the mother was queer, and there's a lot of also like queer Latinx characters and radical characters as well. So it's a very interesting show. Because I don't think we've had a lot of representation as far as that queer Latinx characters is concerned. There's also one character in particular who is like super radical, who is spray painting fuck white art at like galleries that are opening up in like East Los Angeles.
Yes.
And who reminds me so much of one of my friends, and I'm just like, okay, like y'all really could have had to have based this character on either my friend or just like that, that type of person.
Oh, because that actually happened.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like
for sure. Like, yeah, especially in East LA,
Boyle Heights
people,
area.
and Boyle Heights exactly.
Woo!
People are trying to like make like really come together and be like, no, we're not gonna have these white galleries open up here, and then y'all try to gentrify. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting show. If anyone wants to check it out,
Wait, where can you see it again?
it's called Vida, and it's on Stars.
Oh,
Vida.
it's on like cable.
Does that
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
That means
Got
like
it.
life, right? Does that mean
Vida,
life?
Vida means life. Yeah. Vida is also the name of their mom who passed away. But yeah.
the light. Oh, that's beautiful
Shout out to Curly. Come on, girl.
Right?
Yes,
Right?
come on. She is booked
and busy.
busy
Mhm.
and booked, honey. Joel?
Speaking of representation on TV, this is kind of a silly one, but I think it's really, really cute. So if anyone's familiar with Blue's Clues on Nickelodeon, previously Blue is the dog who is helping their Blue is the main the main character of the show. He's usually she is usually co-hosted with Steve. Previously, her first co-host was Steve. The second one was Joe, both white guys. And now Blue's Clues is coming back with a Filipino host. I don't know what his name on the show is going to be, but his real life name is Joshua De La Cruz, and he's from Jersey. So this is a very Filipino story, because I'm also from Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah,
We have a Jersey queen.
girl.
So yeah, I don't really know what his name is going to be on the show, but yeah, the next host of Blue's Clues co-host is going to be Filipino, and I think that's great. So like, a Filipino person is going to be in a lot of family households, so that'll be interesting. And he's not like a light-skinned Filipino. He's like, I don't know. He doesn't look. People consider me light-skinned Filipino, so it's not like I think he looks like the community, if that makes sense. Not to sound like shade at myself or any other light-skinned Filipinos, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So and also in the continuation of silly Filipino news. So this article came out on CNN on June 2nd, and basically the ridiculous President Duterte had made a statement while he was visiting Tokyo, I think 2 Thursdays ago. And he was talking to a crowd, and he said, "I used to be gay, but then I cured myself." He told the crowd, "I became a man again, and beautiful women cured me, and I hated handsome men afterwards. Now I prefer beautiful women." And
he
it's just
hated
like,
handsome man after.
right. He had to
Just saying.
It's just like, right, exactly. And so it's just this, like, I think, like, I know America, we have Trump, and Brazil has
Who?
like a lot of America has this person named Trump, and the Philippines also has like this, I don't know, wild card Duterte, who just like has this crazy reputation of just like not abiding by the law, he's like promoting community vigilantes, which is like killed hundreds of people without any reason recently. And he's also made some remarks against the LGBT community. He's saying that under his ruling, he said there's no oppression, and we will recognize the importance of the LGBT community in our society. But like at the same time, the Philippines is one of the only Catholic countries left that is Catholic ran. So you still can't get a divorce there. It's illegal. And there's still no pride there. Metro Manila has no pride. So I'm really feeling for my community back there, who even and this, you know, it's interesting because Pride in America, a lot of us are like, there's a lot of conversations about capitalistic takes on pride, like all these corporations and brands and like people taking over what pride means, you know, for money. And like that is those are all good points. But what I've been talking to with some of my friends who are, a lot of them are immigrants too, like that is a first world country point of view, because it's good to see as far as these corporations in third world countries show representation, because a lot of these corporations have political sway. So it's, even though it's like fucked up to see corporations like, you know, make money off our community, I think in other countries it could mean a lot more than what it means to us. But that's just a side note. But anyways, President Duterte thinks he cured himself.
Well, that's cute. Did y'all see, real quick, 2 things. Did y'all see Kylie Jenner's birthday party?
Oh my God! What a dummy!
She did a Handmaid's Tale themed party.
What?
Yeah, and she like had all her girls dressed up as handmaids.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was so funny. I just like, we really have to eat the rich. We have to, like, get your forks out, bitch.
Kylie Jenner.
Yes.
Oh.
Were you worried? You was talking about Kylie Minogue.
I was hoping not.
You were like,
please. No,
girl.
but I knew, but I was just like,
You're like, she would never. It can't be this one.
No.
Not my white
my
queen.
good white.
Yeah, that, and then did you see that Beyonce thing?
What Beyonce thing?
Where she was sitting next to this lady, and this lady was like bothering her and Jay-Z, and you could see in her face she was not having it.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so the Hive. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. The Hive needs to calm the fuck down. She was literally just asking for like a drink, and the Beehive. The Instagram Hive is a whole other situation of itself. But they went and like put all these bees on her page and started harassing her and sending her death threats. And then Beyonce's publicist was like, "Can y'all calm down?" And the Hive told her to shut up. I was like, "Wait." Like Beyonce herself has been like, "Can y'all stop bullying?" And the Hive has really been like, "Mind your business." Like, I have
That's wow.
Y'all need to calm. It's not that serious.
You can even see her, like, you can even see them mouthing the words, like, because she asked them what drinks they wanted, and you can see Jay-Z mouthing, "I want a vodka soda."
Oh,
and she was like, vodka soda.
I just saw like a quick GIF on Instagram, so I thought that it looked like she was bothering them.
It does look a little weird because she leans over, but she said that the crowd at that moment was like yelling, and so she was leaning over to hear what Jay wanted. But it does. I will say it does look weird, and I would also kind of be a little weird too, probably if somebody leaned over me to talk to my man about something.
Yeah.
And because it did seem like the space was a little weird, but it just apparently she was just asking them what they wanted to drink, and she's been a good host because she's the fiance of the owner of that team, I believe.
And she's over here like, oh my god, okay, do not piss off Beyonce, get her drink,
Right.
get her drink, be nice. And then the hive is like, girl, die! And she's like, what?
Oh. See, I'm glad we cleared this up because I definitely was like, this woman needs to get out of her space. What's she doing all over her?
I mean, I will say, I feel the space is a little weird. But I get what she was trying to do.
Okay.
So it's just like, but anyways.
All right, that's all I had to say then. All right, well, I guess we'll be back with the Dix.
Happy E3.
Right.
Brum, 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 brum.
Hello and welcome to the final discourse. Discuss. Just over here discoursing for the last time.
Oh. Last chance for love. Anyway.
So long, farewell to you, my friend.
Goodbye.
I actually don't know where that's from. Where's
I'd
that
like to drink my first champagne.
from? What?
What? Is that Charlie XCX?
No,
Oh.
it's that song.
Is
Sound
it?
of Music. The Sound
Have
of
you heard
Music.
her?
Baze was
Have you heard her
singing
new
Bear in the
song?
Big Blue House.
Have you heard her new song?
But with-
XCX's new song.
Which
Or her new
one?
album or whatever? Is it good? Do you like it?
No,
I don't.
no.
Kim
I-
Petras' new song, I don't like either.
Huh?
She's not Kim Petras. She sounds like she's trying to sound like Ariana.
Oh,
She's like,
okay.
yeah,
guys.
I'm like, okay,
Hi, guys.
Like,
Yeah.
Wait, is the new Kim
Paris Hilton
Petras-
over?
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is
welcome
our
to-
last.
Welcome to the discourse. What are we discoursing?
So I feel like we've all like metamorphosized over the past 2 years. When we sat in my kitchen using
Did he say metamorph?
whatever, when we used our blue snowballs, you know, the round blue
Yes.
snowballs. I still have I'm
Woocha
holding mine in my
Lang, the
head.
ghetto.
I'm holding mine in my hand right now.
I wonder where you pulled it out of.
My hole now that it's so well used. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wait.
What?
Huh?
Who?
And
Come again? No, yeah. So anyway, when we were started out in my kitchen, y'all would all come over. We would kiki and sit at my 4-seat table.
wait for the
I'm glad you
police
said
sirens.
seats. Wow, okay.
Huh?
We would wait for the ambulance sirens.
Oh my god, the ambulance.
I remember the
Loud-ass
ambulances.
neighbors. Remember that time I went off on my upstairs neighbors?
With the kids.
Yeah. I really wanted to call CPS on them. I was like, I don't know what y'all doing up there, but it ain't right. I can hear it.
I remember we got a text in the group chat. Basically, like, I'm going to call CPS. Like, and I was.
And then when they had the nerve to yell to complain about the noise we were making,
And then you yelled. Do you remember when you went off that night?
I did. I went off.
I was like,
I was like, I wish you motherfucking would call the fucking super to come and get me when y'all motherfuckers be jumping up and down on the floor every day, like slamming onto. Like I know those kids were like wrestle like WWF every fucking day, jumping off of couches and shit onto the floor. I was like, somebody needs to call.
Not WWF. You done gave away your age with that one.
What
it's
is it now?
WWE now, right?
E.
Girl, I don't know.
I'm
It's
this
look.
years old.
And what about it, bitch? I earned my years.
Remember
That's
when
what-
me and Baze would wrestle over the mic? We were trying to keep it in the
Oh,
middle.
when it would be-
we would have to share mics, and Renee would always like jack it off and like pull it closer to him.
I was trying to put in the middle.
Girl, the middle closer to you. Look, listen. He said it's the Midwest. Cause y'all know how the Midwest is closer to the northeast.
Wait.
No, never mind. It didn't land. It's fine. We moving on.
Well, it was like that's
It's okay, we're
the
moving on.
opposite direction.
No, I'm saying like he's like saying I'm trying to put it in the middle, but like the Midwest. But never mind. It didn't land. It's fine. We're gonna
Okay.
move on. Anyway,
So Baze, how do you feel like you have changed
Oh,
since that first episode?
shall I go first?
Shall you?
So annoying.
And how have I changed? That's one secret I'll never tell.
XOXO.
I don't know what would be that name. Anyway,
Bussy girl.
yeah, pussy girl, pussy girl.
Girls
I
have
guess
pussies too.
I guess I've changed a lot. And not in so many ways. When I started the podcast, I was 1 in a relationship. I was 2 living in California, and 3 was like completely financially dependent on my partner at the time. And I'm like none of those things now, which is funny. It's weird. I think when we started the show, part of why it took Rakeem like being like, "Bitch, let's just do this," is because I didn't have faith in myself as a person. Like I just it took till this year to really realize what I was capable of doing. I didn't try as hard as I should have because I didn't think I was capable of trying. I always felt like, and it was nothing to do with like Mark. It just was like, I always felt like he's like on this tier and then I'm down here. And he's like, you know, he's got this book deal and he's this and he's that. And like, I'm just not that. And so I kind of sat back and I held myself back because I didn't think I was capable of doing more. I didn't even think I was capable of like taking care of myself. And, after the breakup, I mean, y'all know, I was like devastated. And part of that devastation was the ending of my 3.5-year-old relationship, sure. But like also a part of it was like not feeling like, I was like, what am I, like, I'm worthless now. Like my worth was attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
My worth was, this is my boyfriend and this is what he does. And I'm just here. And over the past, I guess it's been 5 months now, I have had, you know, y'all in my ear like, sis, like, no, you are like Baze, bitch, like Moana, like, I know your name, you know who you are.
Yes,
like,
yes.
y'all was reminding me, like, bitch, like, you're fully capable of like not only taking care of yourself, but like thriving and being like still creative, like still, like, I was afraid. I was like, I'm gonna like not be motivated to work on my book anymore. I'm like, I don't have anything. And I think like these past 5 months have like really taught me that a lot of people love me and a lot of people have my back, and I've built a lot of community. And it's made me kind of look at myself and be like, well, damn, bitch, like, you must be worth something if so many people are invested in you doing well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and so many people have like really shown up for me this year, and it's just been like people offering, like, you know, there was a couple of weeks where I did not have a home and I wasn't sure where I was going to be at. And like my friends were like, bitch, you got a couch. Like, you're not, as long as you know me, you're not going to be homeless. Like, and fortunately I was like in a lucky enough position that I really got up on my feet like really quickly and like ended up being okay like very quickly. And it doesn't necessarily work out that well for a lot of other people, but I also was able to bounce back on my feet so quickly because of the people around me. And it's like why like I'm always like singing the praises of community, because everything that you do, no matter what it is that you do, comes from getting help from someone else. And it takes, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I've like this year I've been realizing. I'm like, all the jobs that I've been applying for, you know, the ones that I've gotten the farthest in the interview process have been the ones that was due to me knowing people. And I mean, even the job that I like, there was a recent job that I like got so close to getting, and I was so upset. I was like so devastated that I didn't get it. It was like this really good like office job, and I was like, bitch, like I'm gonna get this. I was like, and I didn't end up getting it. And I talked to the hiring managers after the fact, and they were like, basically, you were amazing. There was literally nothing else you could have done. The person who got the job knew people and had direct experience with that specific position because they knew those people. And so, like, it's just been like, this year has been like a lesson in me realizing my power in building community, realizing that I'm really good at connecting with people, and realizing that I need to be putting that to use more, because I've just kind of been like, oh, like, you know, I've just been kind of floating around. I've been working, I've been writing my book, you know what I mean? I've been doing this podcast, but otherwise, like, I've just been like, I'm not used to working this hard for shit. And like, now I'm like, oh, bitch, like, you know, you really gotta work for it. And that's been this lesson I've learned this year, is I've become such a much harder worker, and it looks different than what I thought it was gonna look like. You know, like, it's networking with people at parties and shit, like, because like everything is like so social here. Like, you never know who you're gonna meet and how you're gonna turn that into an opportunity. And it's not going into these situations looking at it as an opportunity, more so just going into situations, just being open to people. And when you're open to people, then opportunities come. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I feel like that's the difference between me now and me in, what was it, March of 2016, is that like I'm more aware of the love in my life. I'm much more aware of it. You know, I had like an Insta-gay tell me the other day when I was in LA. They were like, I'm so jealous of you and I'm so jealous of the friends that you have. And I was like, well, sis, you have friends. And they were like, yeah, but I don't have the kind of friends that you have. Like, the friends that I have wouldn't do for me what the friends that you have would do for you. And I was like, wow, like, because people say that to me all the time. People are like, I'm so jealous of like the community that you have. And I'm just like, and it's something I've always took for granted, because it's like, I think it's something that, you know, when you're good at something, I think, like I said, I'm good at building community. When you're good at something, you really kind of downplay it and you don't make it a thing. And then when you have something, it's like, oh, well, I have it, so anybody could. But it's like, a lot of people like don't. And I'm like, this year, I'm like, just really I'm learning to be very thankful for that, and appreciative, and trying to be more humble. Not humble, because I'm actually very self-deprecating. I guess what the word I'm trying to use is I'm trying to be more patient, and that's something I've been learning a lot this year, is patience and listening to people. Just because you know, me in 2016, I was very much like, I'm not. What I think is the situation is what the situation is, and I'm going off of that and fuck everybody else. And now I'm like realizing, like, I mean, even like Renee, when I was talking to you earlier, like I was saying, like, there were some things that like were bothering me. And then once I had the full context of what you were going through, I was like, oh shit, like, okay, like, this is so much more than what I thought it was. And then I had to come back from that resentment and be like, oh shit, like, sis, like, are you good? You know what I'm saying? And like, that's something that like I've really been learning this year, is like, what I think everyone is dealing with. We're all in our own heads. We're all like focused on ourselves. We're all like we're the star of all of our own TV shows. And like, that's what I've been realizing. Like, nobody's really thinking about me the way that I'm thinking about them. They're dealing with their own shit. They're thinking about their own stuff. And so it's been, me this year has been just like taking the time to be like, okay, my first instinct is to say fuck you and go with my assumption about you. But now I'm like, okay, let me like give them the chance. Let me communicate with them to figure out what it is that's going on with them, so that I can better understand what's happening. And then if it's just like if there's nothing deeper than that, then it can be just fuck them. But I want to know now, as opposed to just assuming. So I think this year I'm much more proactive, and like, I like my writing. Like I'm almost done with this book, and I've been almost done for like a month now. But like, I wrote it so quickly. And it's so much better than the first draft of the first book that I drafted. So like, I'm building my writing skills. I'm learning to appreciate the love that I have around me. I'm learning to use my personality and charisma to build a bigger community and make more connections. I'm learning that I don't need anybody to take care of me because I can take care of myself. I've learned that I can take care of myself, and I'm fully capable of getting myself where I need to be. And that's not a confidence. That's not something I knew in 2016. Sorry, that was really long.
No, don't be sorry. That's great.
Oh, Basie.
Yeah.
The growth. You know what that is?
It is. It's growth.
Oh.
Who's next?
I'll go next because I think I'll be pretty quick. But like I think that like when we started, it was 2016, and I think for me like the biggest thing was I feel like I've come into myself, and like when we started, I remember like when we would first do this and we would talk about things like I would always worry about like, okay, like, what am I saying? How am I saying this? Is this going to come off like this? Am I going to get dragged? Like, is this going to be, like, is someone going to screen record this? Like, I have to, and I felt like I was trying to be, and I felt like during that time, like, and I feel like too, I feel like this, I hate this term, but like this generation is growing up in like a weird time, and I feel like people around our age like are growing up and learning things, and the whole like quote like woke culture and all that stuff I feel like kind of happened like very recently too. And I remember like, you know, when Trayvon Martin happened and all that, like, and all of that kind of happening. So when we started the show, like I was really nervous about like not coming off as like competent and like knowing in those areas, like knowing things in those areas, and like having to know everything, and like and just having to appear a certain way. And I think like as we've continued and like I've gotten to like meet people and like date people and have relationships and like just, you know, move on with life, like I've just learned that I am so comfortable and like happy with like who I am and what I have to say and what I have to, and like what I believe in and all that I'm like genuinely at a place where like I just don't care like if someone else does not like me or does not fuck with me or doesn't like something that I don't like. And like I can say that like there's things I can say, and like I would have felt nervous about it, but I don't care now. And like that is just like such a big thing for me personally, because like when I was younger, like my whole thing was like I was bullied, and I was like not, and I never spoke up for myself, or I never said anything, or like I would just kind of like sit back and like let people do stuff to me, and like my aunt would be like, you have to fight them back, and I'm like no. And just so to come and be here now and like, you know, getting to do the show and talking about what we're talking about and getting to be educated about so many things, and like having so many memories that we do, and like just coming on here and interacting with like you guys listening too, and like having you guys send us things and whatever, like just all of that, and just all of the things and the like the jobs I've gotten to do too, like all of that has made me just turn into a person I think that like has a very like good sense of self, and like a good sense of like what they want to do, and like, and then like on like a more like practical level, like I have gotten to do so many things since we have started the show, and I just feel like mind blown almost, like not to be like religious about it, but I just feel like there has to be something or some universe or something, because it's like I'm like a 27-year-old like dark-skinned gay boy from Pacoima, and I've like gotten to be in like Out magazine and do this podcast with you guys and have the podcast be featured, and you know, for a time like we were like with the company, and like I've gotten to do a ton of shoots and shoot celebrities and like that and like being and like have art exhibitions and stuff, and like that's all since we started the show essentially, and like you guys have gotten to be there throughout the whole time, and that's kind of crazy to me because it still hasn't hit me that like I've gotten to do those things, and like I've worked for those things, and it's okay to be like those are things that I like accomplished. And so like I've been working a lot lately on trying to like take a step back and like not like kill myself to like constant, because I feel sometimes like as creators of color too, like, and especially for someone like me, I feel like I don't have, well, I think I have like the pretty privilege to like a degree, but like I'm not the person that people go to if they want like a photographer they just like want to fuck or whatever, or like I don't get jobs, I feel like, because people want to like sleep with me. Like I work my ass off, like, and maybe that to a degree, but like I also work my ass off, and I don't think anyone can tell me that I can't do that. And I will like argue down and before I would never have said that about myself, but I'm okay with saying like, it's okay to be like, you worked to accomplish those things and accept it. Because if you don't, like, what's the point? And like what I said with Baze earlier in the honey roast is like, you've taught me to like appreciate those things and to like, and you don't have to like be this like robot that like constantly like just pushes and pushes and pushes and pushes. Like you can enjoy things. And so now I feel like I'm at a point where like I want to like enjoy life, and like I feel good about where things are going, and I just feel like I'm in a really good place mentally. So yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Who is next?
Renee?
Oh. Yay, it's me, yay.
Yay, it's you.
What a change.
Wait, I don't even know, like, so, I mean, you know, I feel like it's hard for me to say how I've changed because I've only seen me from the inside. So I don't know how outwardly I've changed really. But I feel like maybe like, you know, I knew that I love Los Angeles with all my heart, and I love the people there with all my heart, but I knew that it wasn't the place for me. And I don't know that any place is the place for me, but I knew that I was gonna probably do a lot better in the Bay Area than in LA. And I think coming here really did a lot, and then also being able to kind of like really like will myself to go back to school, even though it was a terrifying concept, was something that like now that, you know, I'm here and you know, really struggling and like fighting tooth and nail to like do well in my classes,
but making it and doing it
is, you know, like, wow, like I really just like in the last week I was kind of like, I was talking to myself, because I was like, who was I talking to? And I was like, no, I was having this conversation with myself. But I legit was like, whoa, like you could potentially have a future. And like,
whoa,
just because I really for a long time felt like I was struggling so much, like legit I mean, it's always been a struggle for me, but specifically the last 7 years have been very strugglesome. And I really for a minute was like, oh, like maybe this is just my life. I'm just gonna have to struggle, and like, and maybe, you know, to an extent, but like I was just like, and I might just give up at some point because I don't know how much longer I want to do that. And like just recently, like I'm about to graduate in about a month or so, and like trying to apply to jobs and potentially being able to sustain myself without like outside help soon. So I'm like super and you can probably hear the BART in the background right now because I'm in the Bay Area. I'm at my partner's house who lives right by the BART. But yeah, it's just kind of like it's a thing because I know Baze was a little shocked when he came to visit me and like saw my backpack and was like, oh, what are you doing tonight, or where are you staying? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to figure that out. And I had like my towel, my toothbrush, and all my things in my backpack because I don't have really stable housing per se. And yeah, and I just really the reason I want to say that is because like I know that a lot of people, especially people of color and people that don't have like the resources and don't have the type of parents that are able to, you know, provide financial resources, you know, it's a struggle. It's a really big struggle, and it's one where like it's almost kind of like you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel for a really long time. And I'm starting to kind of see it now. And yeah, and I if you can stick with it, and yeah, and a lot of it has to do with my chosen family, y'all. The chosen family I have here, my partners, who are providing a lot of emotional support, as well as like, this type of support I need to survive in general. So yeah, I feel like I have hope now, and I did not before. So that's probably the biggest change for me.
I see it. It shows.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
And it shows.
All of you. Okay. Is my turn? I think. Are you done, Renee?
yes.
Okay. I think mine is going to be like an extension of my honey roast. I think, between all of us, I think we knew that I was not the most confident, especially before starting this podcast. I was like, cool, you guys are going to do this podcast, and I'm not going to be on it because I didn't feel like I had a voice. I was super insecure in the beginning. And I have to thank the three of you for helping me build that confidence in myself and like being able to be opinionated and take up space, because I wasn't really that person before. And I feel like I'm growing a little more into that. And I also like was going through this whole gender journey publicly and with y'all, and that has really changed me a lot. Kind of like shook me, and sometimes this all does, because it comes and goes, and I don't know where I am sometimes. But and also shout out to all our listeners, because I think my growth, being sort of a public process in my journey, a lot of people have reached out to me and have told me that they're sort of going through the same things and coming out as non-binary, or finding out their chosen family, and coming out to their family, telling me they're in nursing school, and like these things are things that I will never forget, and it really warms my heart, like, to know that my journey is helping other people's. And I didn't think that I would have that sort of impact, and all the messages has really meant a lot to me. And freaking somebody writing us poems, and someone like making illustrations of us, and people who reach out to the podcast and saying all these nice things. It means a whole lot. And I think with everyone reaching out is helping me be more confident, because we've talked about having imposter syndrome and insecurities, and I feel like that's something I've carried for a long time, and sometimes it still creeps in once in a while. But I've found some tools, and I've found y'all, and I've remember our listeners who believe in me and in us, and it helps me just to keep going and being unapologetic and taking up space and be like, yes, I am here, and I don't need to explain myself. And yeah, and that really means a lot to me. And even after this show, I'm going to keep all that in mind and hope to continue to grow in the same trajectory that we've had. And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm so, honestly, Jay, I wanted to say this during your honey roast, but like I felt like I was taking forever. But I also want to say I'm just like really proud of you, and everything that you're doing, and like all the growth that you're going through as well, because I feel like you've been doing it in a very public way, which is very scary, but I think has been very inspiring for a lot of the people listening. And yeah, and just the listeners in general, I think this is what kind of made us continue to do this for as long as we did, is because getting the feedback and like hearing people that, say that like this is something that like was really impactful for them is something that was really powerful for us as well.
All the messages and everything that y'all have done has been really sweet, and I I hope the best for all of you on your journeys, and you've all written us with your different situations, living situations, relationship situations, personal identity journeys, and even though this is our last episode, it's going to be bittersweet, but I hope you all continue to grow, and thank you so much for all your support and for all our listeners from day one. It really means a lot. Like, still shook. I mean, years later that we have an audience to begin with. We started off in a kitchen, we went to a studio, and then we all like moved in our own places, and it's fucking amazing what we have done, and we couldn't have done it with everyone's support. So thank you.
Yeah. We did get quite a few emails. Very sweet, and we will read them individually. We will read them in our own time. But there was a messy email, and I think that like it would just be really cute to go off on a messy note. No?
Yes.
Oh, no, yes, we're
Okay.
waiting for the mess.
Oh, okay.
Very on brand for us.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So
I would like to
anyway.
hear it.
So they said that you can just call me Rusty. Good morning, Trashbags and
no.
Yeehaw Amazons. Regarding straight relationships, pretty much 96% of my male friends are straight. There are very few gays in my school or neighborhood growing up, and the few that were there were in the closet, myself included. In college, I made some gay friends, but after school, they all moved to different parts of the state or nation than me. My friends are those I kept from college who moved to the city or met at work, and most of them are straight. It's mostly easy, but the most difficult thing about our relationships are things that are stereotypical of straight men. Getting details from them without using alcohol or drugs is difficult, and so is getting a text back sometimes. I might ask a friend what they've been up to and get nothing much as a response until weeks later when I find out they're breaking up with their girlfriend and changing jobs and doing a road trip. Romantically, well, I guess it's not that messy, but romantically, I seem to have been a bit of a straight chaser for a while. I did and still do feel like I've conquered someone in a battle or achieved something when I get a straight guy to fuck me. As it was said on the show, lack of self-worth definitely plays a part when I get a rush from getting affection from someone who shouldn't want me. My most recent one is an ex-fuck bud who would be one of those guys who don't consider themselves to be bi or pan, but likes to swallow cum and definitely gets off on the attention.
Oh,
It always
That
started
was.
yeah. It always started as as a game, pussyfooting around and using BS reasons to hang out, then happening to talk about sex until we did it. But when I would be direct and just say, "Give me that D," he would freak out and change the subject until he was back in control or we were being more subtle. It's hard to make new friends in your 30s. I will keep trying to put myself out there, or just okay, never mind. I thought this was a question, or just being okay being on my own. That's my T, Rusty.
Oh, okay. T.
Oh. Thanks.
The part
Any
that
response
just
to the T?
well, the part that took me out about that was when it was written like, oh, like they consider, like they say they're straight, but they like to swallow cum. That just took me out because it was just like, it could have just been like, oh, but they like to experiment around, but it was specifically the act of they like to swallow cum. That I felt like that was in there to be petty specifically, and the person that needed to hear it heard it. And I just want to acknowledge that that writer of the letter, I see you and I see your petty. That's all.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna do a quick shout out to like just the people, like shout out to the person who said they listened to us in a tiny German town while they were on an internship and were feeling isolated. Shout out to there's not really enough detail here, but shout out to all the Renee lovers and all the people who are excited to see Renee back on the show for its final episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Renee's like, okay, thanks, bye. You won't see me.
Shout out to all the OG listeners who like messaged us to tell us that they've been here since day one. Which wow, you
Wow.
have,
I
wow,
can't.
thank you.
Invested over 100+ hours into us? Like what?
Girl,
That's
because we
wild.
haven't, some of us haven't even been here since the damn beginning. So,
Like honestly,
congratulations.
Ask me to go back and listen to one of our early episodes. I
Won't
don't
do
know.
it.
Won't be me.
Couldn't be me.
But yeah, I don't know. Like this has just been like a really fun, sometimes taxing journey that has really also like I think given us skills. That's provided skills for us. I don't know that. I mean, maybe we've got them in a different way, but I really am appreciative of the skills I built from doing this podcast regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like I've had so many people come up to me and be like, hey, like, oh my God, I love you. I love the podcast. I love what you do. And it feels good. And I'm glad to have provided people with a sense of friendship and love and community. So, yeah, I don't know. Any last words, gals?
Thank you, but also thank you. Oh my God, the fucking Bart! Every time I start talking, I swear to God, I'm sorry.
It's
y'all.
okay.
During
At this point, they know it's the ghetto. What they gonna do? Stop listening to us?
But I just want to say thank you to all the guests that we had on too.
Yes.
Nia, we had Travis, we had Maya.
Curly, Madden.
We had, yeah, exactly. And yeah, thank you for all your support. And yeah, I'm excited for, yeah, and it's just like, I feel like this has kind of inspired me to create more. And, you know, I realize how important, like, the ability to create as a person of color, you know, it'll make a difference. And it's just like something as silly as, like, you know, Blue's Clues. I mean, it's not silly, but like something as like Blue's Clues has like a Filipino host now. And so like little kids that like maybe feel weird about how they look or feel like they're not represented could look at that and like, oh, like it's not weird. It's just somebody that looks like me on. And like that's, and we're actually people that should be kind of, looked up to. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, continue to support, art of color, your fellow people of color, in whatever form that you can. And, yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback off of that too. I think everyone kind of said it, but just thank you to the listeners for really kind of sticking with us and like, and sticking with us on the journey. And thank you for everyone who's like done music or done fan art or have like, offered to do that or have come up to us at Pride or have told us, you know, how the show has helped you come out to people or come out to yourself or communicate with people or meet people, how it encouraged you to start a hobby or start your own podcast and thank you to everyone who have asked us on their shows and had us on their podcast and like, and also to like the Fight magazine for like featuring us in their like, so just, there's just been just like a ton of different like opportunities and things that we've gotten as well. And, yeah, it's kind of crazy because you just think about like you're one day like at a diner and like you're just like talking in like Santa Monica and then like the next you're like sitting at Base's kitchen like trying to like, you know, talking to a Blue Yeti and then the next you're sitting like at the upstairs space at my job and trying to figure out what's wrong with like your computer and John and Renee's mic and then, you know, when we're recording in like a studio and then we're recording you know,
I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, you know, then we're recording back at home. So it's just, you know, it's kind of like come full circle and like it just feels crazy. And I'm like really happy of like the body of work that we produced and like it'll still be there for people to listen to it. And like, also, I just want to say like we're not dying or anything. Like we're still going to be alive. So it like I feel like we're like RIP. Like, but like we're still alive and like we're still friends and everything. So like you know, but so that's you know that's that. But like the show is what it was and what it is, and we're really happy about it. So
I just think that window into our friendship is gone now. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
Y'all are not going to get to see us as publicly or hear it as publicly as, you know.
Bye. Get out, bitches.
But maybe you will because some of us like to share stuff on.
Oh, that's
on,
true.
like,
I am
Instagram,
that
so.
bitch. But no, I've learned first of all, that was a very emotional time for me, bitch.
No, this was not even pointed. This is so funny. This was not even pointed to anybody. But if the shoe fits, no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. No, I'm saying, no. I feel like I'm starting to share a little bit more. I feel like this is helping me like open up a little bit more. So like that's basically what I was trying to say. It's like I feel like you'll still have like an insight and we'll still be around. So
True. It just won't be the same way.
It won't be the same way. It will not.
But yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, with Poppers, Fleetwater, and the Bible, we are out of here.
We're out of here.
Let's not forget Foreskin.
Signing out.
Oh, and
my
don't
God.
forget Foreskin.
Oh, true.
My dream came true.
Yes.
Okay.
I've since learned the importance of foreskin, the value.
Renee, I just have a question before we go. Are you still a top transitioning to verse?
Yes, but okay, but
that was the whole reason why we started this podcast. Actually, was the journey, was to document Renee's transition from
that's
a top
true. Okay, but I don't want to give too much away. But I feel like this next week I have somebody that I finally trust. I've met someone that I finally trust, and we'll hopefully start transitioning to more verse.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
there you go.
Okay.
What a cliffhanger on the 100th episode.
We did.
Has anyone else transitioned to anything on the show?
You transitioned to hoe, so I'm proud of you.
I have transitioned to hoe, but now I'm trying to transition it to verse hoe.
Oh, okay.
Transitioning to verse. By the end of summer, coming to a
Same.
theater near you.
I'm also transitioning to top verse.
Ooh, not top verse.
Well, no, I guess I'm bottom verse still, but you know, I've been.
I know.
top
That's how
all
you know
way.
that you're still a bottom, because you said top verse instead of verse top. So it's I'm a top verse. Like, okay.
I'm a top verse. Hey, fellow kids.
Fellow kids, I'm dead.
Hello,
Hey, fellow tops.
I too.
Hi, my name is Top. What is yours?
As a top.
That's so funny.
That's it, y'all. Let's get out of here.
Shit.
All right. Brum, 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 brum.
I love y'all.
We love you.
Bye.
Trashbags forever.
Love you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Renee Bays, Rakim, 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 Renee Bays, Rakim.